This week's AEW Dynamite featured Chris Jericho facing Wheeler Yuta with a shot at Jon Moxley's title on the line. We also had a dumpster match between the Acclaimed and the Gun Club on the show, as well as Orange Cassidy in action, and a whole lot more. So yeah, like I said, it's a big episode of AEW Dynamite this week, with lots going on. We're going to start it straight off with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. Lethal looked fantastic early on in the match. He dominated Cassidy and looked multiple times to set him up for the figure 4 leg lock back and forth early on, but Lethal took control. Cassidy then hit a stun dog millionaire, but Lethal came back with a backbreaker and then hit his top rope looking for an elbow drop, but Cassidy rolled out of the way to the corner, moved to Lethal's frustration. Cassidy then hit a diving DDT on the top rope, but seems to hurt his knee on the way down. Lethal tried to break the advantage and got hit with a beach break. Cassidy went for an orange punch but missed it. Lethal took advantage and hit Lethal injection to pick up the W. Sanjay and Satnam came down to the ring afterwards. Duck called out Wardlow, who duly came out the best friends to make sure before Lethal could do further damage to Cassidy. It ended with Wardlow accepting a challenge to defend the TNT title at Battle of the Belts. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and a fun start to time like this. Just building up to that match, Battle of the Belts, which I'm sure will be really, really great. Looking forward to that. And yeah, a really fun match to kick off the show. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. The Undisputed Elite were out next, along with the Young Bucks. Adam Cole took the mic and said he wasn't physically cleared. He added that if he could take part in the Trios tournament, the Bucks couldn't either. The Bucks looked a little confused, but before they could react, they were jumped by Cole, O'Reilly and Fish. The Trios attack was quick and decisive, laying both Jacksons out. As Cole looked as he used the he had to do so, the former AEW champion Hangman Page music hit, and he cleared the ring before shaking Nick Jackson's hand. And yeah, we finally got the split. I think this is all going to lead to a Kenny Omega return, possibly down the line. And yeah, I'm so hyped. We knew it was coming, but we finally got it. And yeah, this is going to be such an interesting storyline heading into All Out and future AEW events. Yeah, so happy they pulled the trigger on it, because this is going to get super interesting now. Moxley then cut a short backstage promo. He said he didn't care who he faced next week, Jericho or Yuta, adding that when he entered the ring, his only aim was to hurt his opponent. Before he got Baker and Hayter versus Thunderstorm. Baker and Ross had started the match, but things immediately broke down. Both Hayter and Storm came in, with Hayter tossing the former WWE star out the ring. Thunder Rosa was all over Baker, forcing her to tag out. Rosa and Storm then worked over Hayter in the corner before Baker tagged in and took control of the match for her team. Just as we headed to a break, Hayter then got in a couple of vicious shots out at ringside before Baker followed out with a beautiful suplex for a 2 count. Storm then hit DDT to Baker out at ringside. Inside the ring, Hayter got a double suplex to Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa. Reba got in the apron as Storm went to hit Baker with a dive. Baker hit an avalanche white knife before Hayter came down and took a Storm with a clothesline. It wasn't enough for the 3 count. Thunder Rosa broke up the count. Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm then followed it up with a double German suplex before Tony Storm hit Baker with running hit attacks. Baker then pulled Storm into the way and Storm accidentally took out Thunder Rosa. Hayter immediately took Tony Storm out with a lariat, and that was enough to pick up the W. And yeah, on the whole, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really, really, really good stuff. This was a great match. 7 out of 10, and yeah, just more stuff in this kind of time zone as well for the women's division. Yeah, absolutely love this. 7 out of 10. It was then time for Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ren Jones. Hobbs made short works of him, taking only a couple of minutes to finish off his opponent. Hobbs ran a running power slam before hitting him with a strike across the back of his head, and that was enough for the win. Starks ran out after the match and got a few shots in on Hobbs before he took him down with a power slam. And yeah, this gets a 5 out of 10 from me. We all know what was this leading to. Yeah, basically just a simple way of getting there. I mean, like, yeah, for what it was this week, it gets a 5 out of 10. But I mean, like, we'll just have to guess to see where it goes in a few weeks, I guess, before making more of a judgment. But anyway, next up was Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. Hardy was all over Christian right as the bell ran, but his momentum didn't last long. After tossing Christian out of the ring, Hardy followed him. Christian hit Hardy with a cheat shot before battering Matt Hardy against the steel steps. Back in the ring, Matt Hardy hit back with a suplex, but Christian kicked out too. Both legends then traded strikes before Matt Hardy hit a backdrop. He followed up with repeated punches in the corner, followed by a double axe handle off the middle rope. Matt Hardy also hit a side effect, forcing Christian to roll away. Hardy then got on the apron and hit the second side effect on the hardest part of the ring. Hardy set out Christian on the table at ringside. He then went for a running elbow drop from the apron, but crashed through the wood after Christian rolled out of the way. Back in the ring, Christian hit the kill switch, and that was enough to put Hardy away. Luchasaurus was walking down to the ring after the match when Jungle Boy tried to blindside Christian. Christian dodged the attack and ran out of the arena. And yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. The match was okay. I mean, like, but it's all kind of leading up to that little bit at the end, which was also okay. I don't know why Jungle Boy isn't in prison for attempting murder the way he came flying in there. But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, on the whole, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Decent enough match, decent enough storyline, but kind of just feel like this was a filler week, to be honest. Ethan Page was out next and upset with fans for not buying his merch. He also didn't seem too happy with his spot. Stokely Hathaway came out and offered Ethan Page his card and surprisingly adding another name to the faction he's building. And yeah, looking forward to seeing him with Stokely. I think that really could work. But anyway, moving on then to the Acclaim vs Gun Club. Bowens was all over Gunn as the match began, but he quickly turned the table, slamming the lid of the dumpster onto him. Gun Club then powered Bowens into the dumpster. The Guns then launched Caster into the dumpster, but couldn't close it on time. The Guns then continued to dominate the match as Bowens got tossed into the dumpster again. Austin Gunn failed to close the lid, and Austin and Bowens brawled on top of each other before Gunn tossed Bowens off the pile of trash into the cans. Colton then seatbacks Bowens onto the entrance ramp. Austin then set up Bowens up on a table and climbed the stage. Bowens got down and hit Colton Gunn with a trash can. Caster was up on the stage behind Austin and tossed him into the dumpster. Bowens then set up the Colton Gunn on the table as Caster hit the mic drop elbow from the stage. The Acclaim then tossed Colton inside the dumpster and lid and got the W. After the match, Bowens and Caster pushed the dumpster off the entrance ramp, sending it crashing off the stage. And yeah, this was a match not really to be taken too seriously, but it was still a good bit of fun. Gets 7 out of 10 from me. I guess this might be the way to end the feud, and if it was, a really, really fun way to do it. 7 out of 10. Jericho then took on Wheeler Yuta in a Dynamite main event. Yuta started off by flicking Jericho on his broken nose. Jericho was seen forced out of the ring, and Yuta followed by tossing the world champion into the barricade. Parker then grabbed Yuta's fez. He tried to get back in the ring, leading to Parker and Maynard being tossed out of the ring. Jericho tried to use a distraction to roll up Yuta, but only got 2 count. Yuta headed to the top rope, but Jericho cut him down, sending him crashing into the mat. The Wizard dominated during the break, only for Yuta to take back control when he came back from the break. Both men went down after a mid-air collision. Both men traded pace, power and strike as they got back to their feet. Yuta followed up with a typical German suplex. Jericho then managed to lock in the walls, but Yuta crawled over the bottom rope. The veteran looked frustrated and charged at Yuta. He sent him crashing out of the ring, so Yuta replied with top reach to the Cedars in a row before heading to top turret with work on hit crossbody. Jericho then reversed the lariat in the hit backbreaker. He went for the lion salt, but Yuta got the knees up. Yuta then headed to the top rope, but Jericho caught him with a code breaker on the last way down. Yuta somehow kicked out there. Yuta then locked in the regal stretch on Jericho and managed to grab his baseball bat. The referee took it away as her back was turned, and Jericho hit Yuta with a low blow. Jericho went for the Judas effect, but Yuta dodged it and tried to roll the veteran up. Jericho then locked in the lion tamer and forced Yuta to tap out. Jericho had the hold locked in until Moxley made his way down to the ring to chase Jericho off. Jericho took a mic and promised to stretch the shit out of Moxley in their title match next week. And yeah, this gets 7 out of 10 from me. Really, really good match. Good way for Yuta to lose without getting match damage. And yeah, that little bit at the end got me really hyped for the match next week, which is obviously going to be great. So yeah, really fun way to win Dynamite. 7 out of 10. Good stuff. Overall this week, AEW Dynamite gets a 7 out of 10 from me. And yeah, I enjoyed this episode of Dynamite this week. Really, really good stuff throughout it. And the main event was great. First few matches was great. Lots of storyline developments, and you can really feel the all-out getting hyper now because yeah, there's definitely a lot of hype building towards this show. Yeah, you have to say. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Notice what's going down below. Find us for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.